Ambitious goal, but I believe the things we're announcing today will put us in good shape moving towards that goal.
Breaking news today, Governor Jay Inslee announced a goal to get to 45,000 COVID-19 vaccinations every day in Washington state. That is more than double the number of vaccinations the state has available today. Right now, there are about 13 to 15,000 available vaccines a day statewide. In order to move in the direction of 45,000 daily vaccinations, Governor Inslee made 6 announcements. Effective today, Washington is moving to phase 1B of vaccinations. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us for First News at 4. I'm Tim Pham. Whitney and Tom are off today. Big news for Eastern Washington. The governor says the state is also going to set up large-scale vaccination sites statewide, and one of those will be right here in Spokane. The others will be in Benton, Wenatchee, and Clark counties. Governor Inslee's announcement today will help the state move closer to 45,000 vaccinations a day. Now, Inslee is calling on more federal help to get more people in Washington vaccinated. Now, of course, the biggest news for our area, Spokane will now be a mass vaccination site. But what does that actually entail? Our Casey Decker is live in the newsroom now with the latest. Casey?
Well, Tim, I'm sure it's something a lot of people go to a pharmacy or hospital to get vaccinated. Why not just have a big centralized vaccination site? Well, like you said, we're about to have several throughout the state of Washington.
We are now moving from a limited number of Washingtonians to a rather broad scale where max vaccinations are now possible, called for, and are going to be implemented.
So here's what we know about those sites. One, of course, we are getting one here in Spokane. That'll be at the Arena. The governor said it'll open sometime next week and will be run primarily by the National Guard. Now, in terms of how many shots will be given out there, that we don't yet know. We also don't know exactly what the protocols will be for verifying that the people who come to the Arena are actually eligible. But we do have new info on who will be eligible. That was the other big announcement today. As of today, like you said, Tim, we are moving into phase 1B. Now, phase 1A, of course, was healthcare workers and people in long-term care facilities. This phase 1B is divided up into 4 different sub-tiers. Right now, we're just focused on that first tier you see on your screen there. That's anyone over the age of 65. That was lowered now today from what was going to be 70, and that's in order to cover a greater number of vulnerable people. There's one other group of people who will be now eligible if you're over 50 and you live in a multi-generational household. You can see on the screen here as well all the other people included in phase 1B, mostly those working or living in congregate settings. They're not quite eligible yet. But another announcement from the governor today, once we've vaccinated at least half of the first tier, then we can move on to the latter ones. We won't have to wait for that first tier to be 100% covered. Okay, now another big theme of this announcement, increasing speed and urgency. We learned today that more than half of the vaccines that Washington has been allocated haven't actually been administered yet. That's obviously not ideal. Now that speed is increasing, but to get shots into arms faster, the state is doing a few new things. For one, like you heard earlier, increasing its goal. Second, requiring providers who get vaccines to use them all up within a week. Third, creating a vaccine command center, and 4, involving private companies, trying to find some ways for them to help. So certainly some ambitious goals announced today by the governor. The big takeaways, though, we are advancing in the phases, and soon Spokane will see a mass vaccination site at the Arena. Tim?